Okay, I'm joined now by Manu, who's co-founder and CEO of CarbonBridge. Hi, Manu.
Hi, Steve.
Okay, so tell me why CarbonBridge matters. Tell me why.
The climate crisis is really an energy crisis. And to solve the climate crisis, you have to solve energy. And you have to do that in a way that is equitable in the sense of being accessible to everyone. And that means we have to change the way it's made and where it's made. This actually dovetails very nicely with renewables. And that fusion is why it matters. It means we can give power to the people with renewable resources anywhere in the world.
Okay, lots of people are doing something similar. Okay, so what sets you apart?
We use waste gases as the core resource for our projects. And also we're using those waste gases to make microbial methanol, where the gases are fed into microbes that make the methanol for us. But the process of doing so is a fusion of biology and hardware, which is unique to us and allows us to have a very high productivity in a limited volume, and obviously a dramatic reduction in cost that comes from that.
Okay, and let's touch on that. So what's the value that you're creating for the customer?
For any adoption of fuel, it has to be very low cost to drive adoption. Otherwise, you end up in a subsidies war and everything else. Our goal is to hit the magic number of less than 6 cents per megajoule as a unit of energy. And that will allow us to compete head on with fossil fuels and take them out. And that's what sets the value to the customer, that they can use renewable fuels without giving up anything.
Okay, so how are you going to roll this out? How does this scale kind of across the country?
So first of all, the resource we're looking for are waste gases. So wastewater treatment facilities, which is really a nice way of saying we're treating human SH1T. And so there's plenty of that where people live. And the next part is to get waste gases from landfill, which is also wherever people live. So we have a continued access to that waste million. And there's several thousand wastewater treatment facilities across the US that are untapped, and several hundred landfills that are not being currently used. So I think these are the starting points for us to take on this journey.
Yeah. I think one of the things that you told me was that normally that methane is just burnt off.
Correct. Today, the cost of converting that methane into energy, electricity, often exceeds the cost or the value that would be generated by selling that electricity to the grid. So today, a lot of these facilities light a match and burn up that methane. We could use that instead and prevent fossil fuels coming in.
Right. So you are one of the founders that we kind of dragged from California all the way to New York City. So tell us a bit about your New York City experience, how you found it.
Yeah, the weather is trippy. We started with a very hot period, hot and humid. Now it's freezing cold. So we need to work on this, New York. But New York does have benefits. It's a 24/7 city. Everything's going on. There's always something happening. And that's one of the richest sets of cultural things, theater, museums, so something I want to explore.
Okay, let's do it together. Okay.
We should.
Okay, thank you very much.